Have you ever loved Allah so deeply but feel confused about why certain things haven't unfolded in your life yet? Have you ever loved Allah so deeply but feel confused about why certain things haven't unfolded in your life yet? Have you been doing all the right things, praying, fasting, but you still feel like your heart isn't as close to Allah as you want? Are you entering Ramadan feeling hopeful but secretly scared that you may fall short again? If that's the case, then this series is for you. To know Him is to love Him. How can we claim we love someone we don't know? And the most beautiful way to know Allah is through how He introduced Himself through His beautiful 99 names. So each day of Ramadan, we'll be discovering one beautiful name of Allah in hopes that we'll fall in love with Him. Because when you know Him, you can't help but fall in love with Him. There's this beautiful hadith that's narrated by Umar radiallahu anh. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his companions when they noticed a man that looked particularly strange enter the gathering. He was in white, crisp clothes and his hair was jet black. And they were very confused about who this man is because they knew everyone in the city, but this man clearly didn't have signs of a traveler. So he was a stranger, but he didn't look like he traveled from anywhere. So where is he from? This man comes knee to knee with the Prophet ﷺ and he started quizzing the Prophet ﷺ. He asked him, what is Islam? The Prophet ﷺ answered with the 5 pillars of Islam. And he says, Sadaqt means yes, correct, you told the truth. Then he asks him the next question, what is Iman? And the Prophet ﷺ replies with the 6 pillars of Iman. And he says, Sadaqt. Then he asks him, what is Ihsan? And the Prophet ﷺ says, أن تعبد الله كأنك ترى. To worship Allah as though you can see Him. And if you can't see Him, know that He can see you. Now, this is the highest level of Iman. Think about how significant this beautiful hadith is. The companions were just confused. What just happened? Who was this man? The Prophet ﷺ then said, this is Jibreel coming to teach you about your deen. How significant is that? That Jibreel alayhi salam descended in human form to send us this beautiful message about what it really means to have the highest level of Iman, which is Ihsan, to worship Allah as though you can see Him. Now think about it. If someone you love, you can see someone you love, how would you show up? Would you show up lazy in your pajamas, with bad breath, looking bad, saying bad things? No, right? You would show up looking your best manners, what you would say, right? When I was getting to know my husband for marriage, I remember I was very conscious about how I looked and what I said and how I appeared, right? Because we show up differently when someone we love is in front of us. And ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tara. Worship Allah as though you can see Him. And if you can't see Him, know that He can see you. Knowing that someone you love is watching you too. How does that affect how you show up in your life? Everything changes. And so this is our aim for Ramadan, is to aim to show up differently in our life. What does that mean? That means we show up for Allah, knowing that He can see us and yearning that we can see Him in our heart with our Iman, in how we speak, the words that come out of our mouth, in hardships, in times of hardships when no one else can see, we know Allah can see us. In times of patience, we know that Allah can see us. In times of restraint, we know Allah can see us. In times of happiness, we know Allah can see us. In times where we maybe have to shut our mouth and not say something rude back, time of tested patience, we know Allah is watching us. And so there's so much beauty in knowing that the one that we love is watching us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us the purpose of fasting in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Fasting has been prescribed to you like those before you so that you may achieve taqwa. So what's the whole purpose of fasting? The whole purpose of fasting is to achieve taqwa. What is taqwa? It's this consciousness that Allah is watching me. When I was at school, I remember my non-Muslim friends used to tell me, Hannah, you're fasting all day, like you're not thirsty. Why don't you just have a sip of water? Your parents are not around, no one's watching you. And I would say, but God is watching me. And so subhanAllah, why wouldn't I drink that water? Because maybe no one else is watching me, but I know Allah is watching me. So the way I show up will be differently. I'm not going to secretly drink that water. I know Allah is watching me. Or those little kids that pretend they're fasting, but they go drink some water. They don't have that sense of taqwa yet. They haven't developed that sense of taqwa. I'm sure we've all done that when we were little kids and we've had a sip of water and say, oh, we're still fasting. But subhanAllah, once we develop that sense of taqwa, knowing that Allah is watching us, then everything shifts. And so beautiful that fasting helps us build taqwa, which then helps us elevate to the station of ihsan, to worship Allah as though we can see Him. And if we can't see Him, know that He can see us. And so let's aim this Ramadan to know Allah, to fall in love with Him, to worship Him as though He can see us. Let's begin. Bismillah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون